You're watching Chicago Bears Now. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Give me a follow on Twitter. It's at HGrahamNFL. Got more NFL and Chicago Bears updates for you guys throughout the offseason right over there. All right, today's show, we got a 3-pack of Bears rumors, so let's go ahead and jump on into it. Does Allen Robinson want $25 million per year? I'm going to give this one smoking J. I can't completely rule it out, but some of these online, websites and blogs connected dots that I'm not sure are actually there. So here's what happened. SportsMockery.com took a rumor from DeBears blog saying, DeBears blog said Allen Robinson wants a $100 million deal. Sports Mockery was like, assuming he wants a 4-year deal, that means he wants $25 million a year. There's no evidence that that's true. Now, there is evidence that Allen Robinson and the Bears were far apart on negotiations throughout the NFL season, but this feels like connecting dots that aren't necessarily in the atmosphere. Now, I know DeAndre Hopkins makes $27 million per year, but he's kind of an outlier. Got a major 2-year extension once he went to the Arizona Cardinals. This is a reach by Sports Mockery. Oh, he's asking for $25 million a year. I think what's more likely is he wants $100 million over 5 years, which is completely reasonable in all honesty for Allen Robinson. $20 million per year. He's a top 10 fringe top 5 receiver. That's about what those guys make in that $20 to $21 million per year range, which is something Allen Robinson is definitely worth. I look at the Amari Cooper contract, something I've mentioned before, as a good baseline for Allen Robinson. 5 years, $100 million, $20 per year, and $60 million guaranteed. You can build an opt-out after year 2 or year 3 for a little to minimum dead cap. Works for both sides. Who says no to that? Maybe Robinson says no. I gave it one smoking J. There could be a chance he wants $25 million per year, but there's no evidence that that is actually the case. I think this Amari Cooper contract structure works a lot for Allen Robinson. Plus, they're in similar tiers there, so I think that makes a lot of sense. What do you guys think Allen Robinson is worth? $20 million per year. I think that's about right. Type O for over $20 million. Type U for under $20 million. I want to hear it from you guys. What is Allen Robinson worth? Type O for over 20 or type U for under $20 million. We're free here on Chicago Bears Now. That is the beauty of this YouTube channel. Daily videos all off-season long. Let's hit 22,000 subs as soon as possible. I'd like to get there before Super Bowl Sunday. Need a little more than 500 to get there. Could be tough, but I trust you guys. 21,467 is where we sit as of now. Let's get to 22K as soon as possible. Hit that big red button and subscribe. Free videos throughout the off season. Now, Allen Robinson, as we continue to reiterate on the show, because I'm just not going to give up on it, is a undoubtedly top 10 wide receiver and proved that once again last year with over 100 catches, 1,250 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Now, he missed out on a couple of jump balls in the end zone that he could have had an 8 or 9 touchdown season, but nonetheless, he's played with well below average quarterbacks his entire career and has put up #1 receiver numbers. Could you imagine what this guy would do if he had a legitimate quarterback? The sky is the limit, and he's still only 27 years old. There's no reason to let this guy go. You bring him back, the development of Darnell Mooney as your #2 guy. We'll see what happens on this depth chart. Otherwise, Anthony Miller, Javon Wims, Riley Ridley, they're just guys at this point. But you can go to battle with A-Rob and Darnell Mooney and David Montgomery as your running back. You figure out the quarterback, you bring back Allen Robinson, and maybe get a little better at tackle. This offensive line can do some damage. I just don't buy this crap that Allen Robinson wants $25 million per year. I could be wrong. Gave it one smoking J. Could be true, but I don't think it's very likely at the end of the day. Make it happen. We're going to pin this comment on today's video. #SignAR. Spam it in the comments. I want to see hundreds of these down in the comment section because, hey, we all want Allen Robinson back. Here's our Smokin' J rumor meter. I just gave the Allen Robinson wants $25 million per year one Smokin' J, which means that's barely true. It could be true, but it's unlikely. 2 Smokin' J's, people are talking 50-50. 3 Smokin' J's, it's pretty likely, but it's far from a done deal. And then 4 Smokin' J's, bear down because, yeah, it's very, very likely. 0 Smokin' J's equals fake news. How about trading for J.J. Watt? I'll give this one Smokin' J as well. Barely true. It could happen, but it's a long shot at the end of the day. But it is 3 Smoking Jays that he is going to get traded. I'd say that part of it's pretty likely. 1 Smoking Jay to the Bears, though, because I don't think that part of it is super likely. Now, Ian Rappaport threw this out there that, it's fairly likely J.J. Watt's played his last game with the Houston Texans. So Bear Goggles was like, let's bring him to Chicago, and threw together some trade ideas for J.J. Watt. He's got 1 year left, $17.5 million on his deal, which is the exact amount a team would take on because there's no bonuses, no weird things with this contract. Very simple, 1 year, $17.5 million. We've mentioned this before. His wife does play pro soccer in Chicago. I don't know if that really means anything. I would gander to say that it doesn't, but there is at least some connection to the city there. He spent a lot of last offseason in Chicago, so he does know what the city is all about. This only makes sense if quarterback is taken care of. If you trade for J.J. Watt, like right now, for example, what are you doing? Like, you don't have a lot of money to work with. You don't have a quarterback for next year, at least one that you believe in. I don't think Nick Foles is that guy. Look, if you clear up some cap, you figure out quarterback, and can figure out a way to bring J.J. Watt, I'm down. I'm not going to say no to it, but quarterback has to be priority number 1. I think J.J. Watt trade is probably something later in the offseason anyway, so you never know what could happen down the road. Maybe it's a draft night trade. Who knows? I've seen some of you guys, what about a J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson mega trade? I mean, again, I'm down. I don't think the Texans will do it, but at the end of the day, that's going to cost a lot of money, and the Bears, as of now, don't have a ton of cap space, at least what is projected to be for next year's cap. Should the Bears trade for J.J. Watt? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. What do you guys think in the comments? For now, I'm typing my N. Again, if quarterback's settled and you got the money, sure, I'm down to do it. But for now, I'm going to type my N for no. Something I'm always typing my Y for is convincing you guys and myself to make some money. And you guys can do it at BetRivers. Go to chatsports.com/betil or chatsports.com/betin. Illinois folks, Indiana folks, you guys can place bets right away. You can sign up and deposit from anywhere, but to place a bet, you must be within state lines of one of those 2 states. It is Super Bowl Sunday. There's money to be had, props galore in this football game, and there's a few that I like, so I'll share them with you guys. I love the Chiefs -3 against the Bucs. I think this is a steal. I think the Chiefs win this game by at least 5 or 6 points. Mahomes, over 27.5 completions. I love that one as well. They're going to be throwing early and often. I think the Bucs are going to be playing catch-up mode. Over 39.5 attempts for Brady. That sounds like a lot, but this could be a 40-45 passing attempt game for him if the Bucs are playing from behind. I love those prop bet opportunities. You can make some money on those at BetRivers. Again, one more time for you Indiana folks, chatsports.com/betin. Illinois, chatsports.com/betil. But you can sign up and deposit from anywhere. If you happen to be within those state lines, you can bet on any sport at any time. All right, we got one more here on today's Bears Rumors Roundup. Is Mitchell Trubisky and the Bears parting ways? Yeah, 4 Smoking Jays. Nothing new here on this one. This is common sense. Now, Dan Sileo, who loves to just throw darts on Twitter and qualify it as NFL news and actual stuff that's being reported, said, the Bears are going to move on from Trubisky. This was common sense a month ago, guys. This is not reporting from Dan Sileo. Week 17 in the playoff loss to the Saints sealed Mitchell Trubisky's fate. I'll put it at a 99.5% chance he is gone next year. So I guess you can't fully go 4 Smoking Jays, but we don't have a 3 and 99-100 Smoking Jays rumor meter there, so we went ahead and rounded up there. It's not going to happen. He's gone. He is going to a new team next year. Here's Dan Sileo, NFL analyst. The Bears will be moving on from Mitch Trubisky this offseason. 2 places that have interested in him are the Cowboys, the Broncos, a bunch of hashtags that no one cares about. Dan Sileo's fake news, guys. Follow me on Twitter at HGramNFL because I'm not just going to throw shit out there and claim that it's reported information. That's what Dan Sileo does. He's been doing it for years. He has some internet show on Twitch or something like that, and he calls himself an NFL insider. He's fake news. I'm not the guy to attack legitimate journalists, but he's not one of those. He's just not one of those. The next story Dan Sileo breaks will be the first story that Dan Sileo breaks. I'm not pretending to be a breaking news guy. But you know what? I got to call people out when they act like they're the end-all be-all in the journalism world, and Dan Sileo is just not that. Eventually, he's hoping these darts connect, but they haven't up to this point. So if you guys are tweeting me Dan Sileo tweets, I'm just going to tell you that it's fake because he has no sources when it comes to that. Now, Mitch Trubisky's going to be gone, like I said, so predict for me. Where will he play next season? I want to hear from you guys. I think there's a few teams that make sense. Sileo might, he could end up with one of those teams, and then he'll claim victory. He didn't report anything when it comes to the Cowboys or Broncos. Patriots? Be a fun fit. Let me know what you guys think down below. For me, the reason Mitch is gone, like I said, common sense, and not because Dan Sileo reported it, is he's had his time here. Both sides tried to make it work. They, traded for Nick Foles, let him compete with him. He won the job, got benched. Played okay late in the year, but like I said, Week 17, the playoff game, when competition stiffened, he just didn't have enough firepower behind his ability to take the Bears to where they want to go. I don't think he's going to be back. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.